Welcome to the Graduation with Leadership Distinction application workshop. We have moved online so that you can get the information you need without having to leave the comfort of your home. So my name is Lauren Epps. I am the Assistant Director in the Center for Integrative and Experiential Learning, and I'll be walking you through the application requirements, a little bit more in depth about Graduation with Leadership Distinction and the ePortfolio process, and your next steps. So first, what is Graduation with Leadership Distinction? We are an official academic distinction. It goes on your official transcript, your diploma, and you get to wear the cool cords at graduation. We are really helping you acknowledge what you've learned within the classroom and what you've done outside of the classroom. And there are 5 different pathways that you can use to complete Graduation with Leadership Distinction. You can see them listed on your screen, but they are community service, diversity and social advocacy, global learning, research, and professional and civic engagement. We do have students every semester who complete multiple pathways, and that is totally up to you, depending on your interest and your involvement on campus and off campus. You can always choose multiple pathways, but we recommend most students complete one pathway that they are most passionate about. All right, so as you can see on the screen, we are a team of 4. We are here to help throughout any stage of this process. Our advisors work hard to answer questions related to the application or the ePortfolio or anything that you might need to know about Graduation with Leadership Distinction. So as I mentioned, my name is Lauren Epps. I'm the Assistant Director, and I kind of oversee the logistics of GLD and the process from start to finish. And we have 2 full-time advisors, Sarah Matthews and Gina Spence. And we have a graduate assistant who also works with students, and her name is Brittany. And so you can see our contact information listed out on the screen. Feel free to set up an appointment with us or shoot us an email at any point. All right, so for my summer and fall graduates, this is most relevant for you right now as you think through how to complete your ePortfolio before you graduate. So our biggest recommendation is that you take University 401 for GLD. There are a couple different types of University 401 offered at the university, and so make sure that you're looking at the one for Graduation with Leadership Distinction. It's 1 credit hour, not 3 credit hours. It only meets once a week and really is designed to help you focus on the ePortfolio and complete that process. If you look at our website, sc.edu/GLD, you can actually see example ePortfolios in a lot of different majors and pathways to help you get an idea for what the ePortfolio looks like. There are 3 major sections of every ePortfolio. They all look fairly similar in that way. There's an About Me section, which is like it sounds. You're talking about yourself, your major, why you chose that major, why you're pursuing GLD, and how you plan to express your ideas in your ePortfolio. Then you move into 3 key insights, and those are your big takeaways from your time in college, what you've learned within the classroom, and how you saw that play out in your beyond the classroom experiences, and how those things transformed you. Then you're going to have a leadership section where you apply those key insights to a real problem in your community or in your field. And this is a more abstract idea where you are proposing a solution. We don't ask you to actually go out and solve the issue that you're talking about, but for it to be something that you feasibly could do if you were to walk out of your house or your apartment today with what you've learned from your key insights and throughout your time in college. So those are the major sections of an ePortfolio. We know it's a lot of work. We anticipate students have about 50 to 60 hours put into the ePortfolio by the end of it. And so that's why we offer University 401. We know that support and accountability and feedback is crucial to this process. The 1 credit hour of the course, know that can be a bit deceiving. Even though it's only a once a week course, there's a lot of writing and it's an intense process. So make sure that you're prepared to put in the effort needed to be successful in University 401 so that you can pass the ePortfolio and earn graduation with leadership distinction. If you cannot take University 401, there are a couple of other methods that you can choose from. So we know that University 401 students typically have a higher pass rate of earning GLD and completing the ePortfolio successfully on the first try, something like 90%, as opposed to our independent students or the ones who don't take the course, which is about 60%. But if you can't take the course, we understand it is a bit more of a time demand as you're meeting weekly. So we offer two other methods, structured advisement and completely independent. And you can see what those look like listed out on the screen. Structured advisement is 2 small group workshops towards the beginning of the semester. They're spaced out by about 3 weeks. So you'll come to one workshop. We talk about the key insights, what it is, how to write it, and then we send you off on your own to write it. And then 3 weeks later, we come back and talk about the leadership section, what it is, how to write it, and we send you off on your own to work on it. In between those meetings, typically you'll meet with an advisor one-on-one to review your drafts and get feedback on them. So it's really just 3 meetings total, as opposed to 1-hour weekly meetings in 401, the course. Independent students are exactly as they sound. They're on their own in completing the ePortfolio, but they're welcome to use resources that we offer throughout every semester, our open writing sessions, Write Night, and anything on our website. The one major difference between taking University 401 and doing one of the other 2 methods is the timeline and the responsibility. So with 401, you're getting pretty much the whole semester to complete your ePortfolio. Typically, the finished product is like your final exam for the course, whereas in structured advisement and independent, it is an 8-week timeline. So for summer graduates, there's an earlier deadline around mid-June. For fall graduates, it's right after fall break in October. So keep those dates in mind as you plan out for your next semester. All right, so here's some more information about those deadlines. For summer graduates, since that is our upcoming semester, Monday, June 15th is the deadline for starting and finishing that ePortfolio. That gives us time for resubmission if needed. Every ePortfolio goes through a review process and must pass with a passing score of 34. And if we don't earn a 34, then we want to give you time to facilitate a revision process to get you up to that passing score. For fall graduates, that deadline is going to be October 19th, 2020, so right after we come back from fall break. Either way, when you commit to your timeline, we expect you to complete it rather than starting and then delaying for a semester or 2. Once you figure out what timeline you want, commit to it and stick to it. This try policy sort of outlines what that looks like when it comes to committing to your timeline. So if you decide to take University 401 and then ultimately decide to drop or withdraw from that course, your options become a little bit limited. So you can see in this chart, depending on when you would drop that course, your options for the next semester or completing in that same semester. So if you drop during drop add, that first week of the semester, you could still sign up for structured advisement and complete it in the same semester. Or you could say, I'm going to hold off until the next semester and choose any method of your choice. If it's after drop add but before the WF date, then you become independent for that semester. So you're working on your own to complete the ePortfolio in whatever stage of help you had already completed through the course. Everything else is then up to you. Or again, you can wait until the next semester and try again through hybrid support, which is just one meeting with an advisor and mostly independently. If you withdraw after the WF deadline, then your options are the most limited. You've got to wait until the next semester and either do hybrid support or just be completely independent. For structured advisement students, the same try policy is in place. So depending on when you withdraw from structured advisement, those workshops, that will tell us what process you need to do moving forward. If you withdraw by that first meeting, then you can go independent for that same semester or do hybrid support in the next semester. If you withdraw after all the meetings have happened, but the ePortfolio deadline has not passed yet, you can complete independently and submit in that same semester, or do hybrid support the next semester. If the ePortfolio deadline passes and you did not submit anything, then you only have the next semester options, and you can do either hybrid support or completely independently. I understand this is probably a little bit confusing, so we're happy to clarify if you have questions about this policy. All right, summer grads and fall grads, if you are thinking about completing your ePortfolio this summer, 2020, this is your timeline. So we will be posting the application workshop online, and that will be live through about mid-April. So if you're watching this, you have already completed one step towards completing the ePortfolio in this semester. What you'll want to be on the lookout for next is signing up for structured advisement. And so that will be 2 meetings, and you can see the dates of those listed out on the screen. We'll start the first Key Insight meetings around April 20th, and those will be live via Blackboard Collaborate. And after the workshop, you'll be sent off to work on your key insights at your own pace. We pace you out with an ideal timeline at, as you can see in those blue boxes, about 1 key insight per week. But whatever pace works for you. The other date you'll need to be aware of in April is April 27th. You have to submit your application by that date in order to do your ePortfolio and complete GLD in the summer semester. Now, the leadership workshops will happen in May. So May 11th through the 22nd, you'll be working with an advisor on the leadership section, and we'll give you the content and answer questions during that time. Then you'll go into feedback and revision mode through the first week of June. And so that will be your chance to meet with an advisor in person or via Skype or Blackboard Collaborate to get help on what you've written so far, to give you direction on what to include or what to change. And then you'll put everything into your online platform in that final week before the ePortfolio deadline. So June 15th is the date to mark in your calendar to know that that is when you'll need to turn in your ePortfolio if you plan to complete it this summer. All right, so right now, application time. How do you get to your application? If you have already started it, you can go back into your application using these same instructions. If you'll be starting your application for the very first time, follow what's on the screen. So you'll go to sc.edu/GLD, and on the left-hand side, there's a tab called Earn Graduation with Leadership Distinction. Click that tab, and it will give you some more sub-tabs underneath that. You want to click the Apply tab. And when you get to that screen, it will say Start the application somewhere near the top of this screen. Click that link, and it will ask you to log in using your USC username and password. So enter your login information, then you will see our registration page. This screen will have some of the information already populated. We pull some of that from DegreeWorks, so you can see your name and your USC ID, perhaps your email. Go ahead and fill in whatever's missing, so your major, your graduation date, all of those things, and click Save. Then you'll get a chance to go ahead and choose your pathway. If you haven't already, you should have one in mind by now, so you can begin application in whatever pathway you have selected. Once you begin a pathway, it should look like this in the application system. This is a professional and civic engagement pathway application, as you can see by the two parts of the core experience, Part A and Part B, but all of the pathways generally look about the same. So every pathway will have a core experience. It will have enhancement activities that you'll need 3 of, the 6 credit hours of coursework, presentation, and ePortfolio. Okay, this slide provides some extra details for you in regards to your specific pathway application and the details you'll need to put in for each section of the application. So for your core experience, this is going to vary a little bit by pathway. If you are putting in research, you'll put in your research, when you started that research, and your mentor's contact information. If it's community service, you'll put in that experience, your total hours, and your supervisor's information, and so on and so forth for each pathway. For the enhancement activities, you'll need 3 of those, and it's got to be related to your pathway in some way. So these are very broad. It can be anything that helps you understand an aspect of your pathway a little bit better. So maybe that's job shadowing or attending a workshop or a guest lecture. Maybe it's going to a conference. Really anything that you have participated in or attended that gave you a better sense of what you're doing. For coursework, you'll need 6 credit hours. Typically, that's 2 courses at 3 credit hours each, and it's got to be a B or better in those courses in order to count for GLD. We have approved course lists on our website at sc.edu/GLD, so you can check out those lists for each pathway, find the courses that are most relevant for you, that you did well in, and you can input those into your application. If you see a course that you've taken that's not listed on our approved course list, we do have a proposed course option for you. Feel free to reach out to an advisor to talk more about that process. Then for the presentation and ePortfolio, these things do not have to be completed in order to put them in the application. We just want to know how you plan to complete it. So for the presentation, if you're a summer grad and you need to complete a presentation, Summer Research Symposium is going to be the option that you choose in the drop-down. And you can go ahead and mark your calendar for Thursday, July 30th to present on that date. If you are a fall graduate, you will most likely be presenting at Fall Showcase, and that will take place on Friday, November 20th, 2020. If you don't know yet what you're going to present on, that is a-okay. You can put TBD for your presentation title. There are also some other options for presentations, like a scholarly journal publication or a conference presentation as an alternative, or applying for a nationally competitive fellowship or scholarship. Let us know if you're planning to use any of those less typical presentations, and we can talk you through the details. Again, for the ePortfolio, it does not have to be completed for you to put it in your application. We just want to know what method you plan to use for completion of the ePortfolio. So go ahead and tell us if you want to take University 401, if you're going to do structured advisement, or you're going to do it independently, and the date that you plan to do those things, or what semester you plan to do that timeline. If you don't know who your instructor is for 401 or who your advisor will be for structured advisement, that's okay. You can put TBD. We just want to know what you're planning to do. And that's all that I have for you for this application workshop. Again, if you have specific questions, please contact us. We are happy to help answer questions about your specific situation or what might count in a given pathway, what makes the most sense in any given category. So you can reach out to us on social media, via email, or via phone, or make an appointment on EAB to meet with us digitally. Our email address is ciel@sc.edu, and our phone number is 803-777-3272. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing your application.